All right. All right.
Sorry.
It says community meeting.
It's
it says community meeting.
from there.
It's on YouTube. I changed the title, but it didn't work. And now it says we're in the community meeting. Anyway, it'll work. I'm gonna start the record. The video is recording. Platform. All right. So we have Rhoda as well. Waiting.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Rhoda.
I think it's just connecting the audio. Okay, now.
Yeah.
Now probably she can hear you.
Hi, Rhoda. Can you hear us?
And hi, Dell, as well.
Oh, I thought you had the one. Oh, nice. Nice to have you here.
Perfect.
What about Del? Can you hear us?
Dell, can you hear us? You there? Maybe not. All right. So let me check if we have some messages on YouTube. If you're in YouTube, please say hello. It's always good to see that we're not alone there. So yeah. Cool. So thanks. Oh, camera is coming. I think we've seen the roof, probably. I don't know what I'm seeing. All right. Anyway, so thanks, folks, for joining and for watching. For those who are watching later, this is an attempt to put some kind of order to the chaos that we have on design right now, or not chaos, more like more than chaos is like. I mean, so far we only have Maya right in the community, I would say, and or we had so far only Maya as a designer.
Hi.
So yeah, it's good that we now got more people interested in joining. But yeah, again, like the chaos is more like from the maintainer's side, not so much from the design side. And that we didn't know which issues were requiring design. We weren't tracking that, and so we started last week. Maya and I started this effort to try to put things together into a place, a project where we can track all these things. And yeah, so our aim here is to facilitate contributing to design issues as much as possible. But yeah, as you will see soon in a few minutes, most of them are probably related to websites and landing pages and things like this. Small, and also I would say graphic design. So that's also another thing that I wanted to clarify here today is, so what do we mean when we say design, right? Because it's an overused word, and it has many usages, right? I myself have the preference that or when I say design in this context is UI UX design, right? Not so much graphic design, not so much logo design or anything, or illustrations or something like that, right? Um, so yeah, even though we have some issues related to that, but yeah, like I don't expect them to be like solved by UI UX designers, let's say, right? So yeah. Um, what else, Maya?
We intend to go through the list of the design issues we have collated. So, oh, hi, Del. Nice to meet you. So, I think we're going to go through that. Then we know whosoever is interested in it, then we can assign the issues to them. What do you think?
Yeah, let's get through all these issues, and I'll be happy to explain them, uh, what they're about, and so on. So yeah, let me check. Sergio is joining as well. Cool. So are we all in the probably like the same time zone or almost the same time zone? So I'm in Spain. So Maya, I think you are in Nigeria, right?
Yes, yes, I am.
So it's probably the same time zone as Portugal or Spain. I don't know. I'm not sure, right? So what time is there? Uh,
9:18
okay,
p.m.
okay. So it's same as Portugal. So we have one more hour, which makes no sense because we're in the same line. But yeah, and so I'm asking because they always ask me like he doesn't know
Oh,
if morning or not. So yeah, morning here, uh, and I think everyone is on their morning. And I will say that we're almost all in the same, almost in the same time zone, right? So yeah. Um, okay, so let me share my screen. It's gonna be easier. All right. Okay. So can you all see well, or maybe I should make it
yes, it's
more
fine from here.
just for the recording, maybe. You never know. So yeah. So let me share this with you, this link. Um, so last week, Maya and I put this together as a way to um, yeah, to try to make sense of what's missing in the community, what's missing in the. Um, wait a sec, I'm trying to share this. Uh, the hell. Sorry for the language, but why is it not working? I should see a chat here. See it. Sorry, was hiding. Some UI was hiding it from me. All right. Oh, so it wasn't posted to YouTube. Okay, so I'll have to post it now. It's a mess.
Do you want me to share it?
No problem. It's shared already on YouTube.
Okay.
So all right. So yeah, this is the project that I shared the link to the project that I have in my screen, so you all can see it. It's a public project, and it's not about specific repos. So what you see here is a list of issues that we found related to design and that belong to different repos. And actually, we have a bunch of different types of issues. As I said before, some of them are UI UX, and some of them are like illustration, like creating mascot or something like that. Maybe design, graphic design link, graphic design, design, right? So yeah, but the majority of them are about UI UX, I would say. Now, also want to make sure, even though you see here, just to explain how this thing works, right? So this is the list of issues that we found. You can see the list of assignees here. So in this case, for instance, these two here are assigned to Asmit. So Asmit is participating in the mentorship program, in the SyncPay mentorship program. So that's why I assigned these two to him, because yeah, he's gonna work on them. That doesn't mean that you cannot help him, right? So he will probably welcome your help, but yeah, like it's basically it's assigned to him, and yeah, so he will be taking care of it. There is another one here that Maya assigned herself, so we're gonna go through it as well. And there are a few others that have no assignees, right?
Yes.
One thing that I discovered the other day, even though I've been working with GitHub for many years now, if you want to get assigned to one of the issues after we go through them, right, or during this call, please leave a comment. Leave a comment on the issue, because if you don't leave a comment on the issue, then I will not be able to assign it to you, right? Because GitHub won't let me do it, basically. So it only lets you assign issues to those who commented, or those who are part of the organization, a TSC member or something like that. So yeah, that's it. So these are the list of issues. Okay, let's go through all the issues. I'm gonna jump straight to the number 3, because Asmit is going to be working on this too as part of the mentorship program. So yeah, you're free to have a look at it, but yeah, I don't think it's worth it for today. So let me open this. All right. So actually, Sergio, who's in the call today, by the way, proposed a while ago. Maybe Sergio can explain what is it about, if you remember. Now that we have you in the call. Or maybe Sergio cannot speak. Or maybe Sergio is not even there listening to us. All right. So feel free to interrupt me if you're in the mood to jump in, or if you can jump in. So this is about Studio. So just to let you know, so Studio is this tool that we have here, studio.asyncpay.com. Right? I was doing test the other day and it's broken. But all right. So is this application that we have here, and that usually people use like this. You write an SyncPay document here on the left, and you get documentation rendered on the right. As you start modifying this, it will get modified here and so on, right? So we're not gonna get into the details of what Studio is, but yeah, this is what it is. It's an application that we have. So yeah, so the thing is that Studio supports something that is called like like the URL param, or the base 64 param, and that means that you can do things like this. You could be doing things like URL and blah 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 blah, like the URL to a file that you want to load in that editor that you saw. So yeah, that means that you can load an SyncPay file from the URL. Same with base 64. So what Sergio is proposing is that if I share a studio link on social media, on Twitter, somewhere else, that has this URL param, then it will be cool that what you see here, the image that you see here is actually reflecting that specific document, right? So the title rendered here will be the title that is in the real document. Probably the text here could be the text on that document. It's challenging, but could be done, right? And yeah, so, or I mean, like for instance, right now the preview is this one, right? This is the preview image. Another thing that I suggest that we could be doing is we don't render this, we render a different image, right? We render a totally different image. I will not go in this direction, like rendering the text here and the text here and everything, because it's going to be a super complicated task. So yeah, let me see if Sergio put an example here. Oh yeah, so actually he did it. He did some examples. Yeah, so that's cool. So he came up with this basic design. Like this is what it could be looking like, right? So account service 100, the description, number of servers, or no servers, one channel, one message, and things like this. This is how you will see it in Twitter and so on. Let me try to find a. There was a not this. Open Graph. Yeah, that was the name. So GitHub recently changed the way they render the repos. I try to find them. Not this one. Maybe with the image. That's this one. Yeah, this one. But they recently changed the way they render these images. The images that you see on social media, whenever you share a GitHub link, before it was an ugly image, right? And now they redesign it, and so it contains the logo of your repo or organization or your account, the name of your repo and organization, the description, and a bunch of more details like languages, blah blah blah, right? And yeah, so this is what we want to do in the end. Like we want to, if you have a URL pointing to Studio, we have this data. We have the name of the service, the version, number of channels, number of servers, number of messages, blah, blah, blah. A lot of information that we could be using to create a beautiful image to share with the beautiful and useful image to share with the audience, right? So whenever they see this image on Twitter or on LinkedIn or any social media, they instantly will see that it's not I mean, the problem with this image is that this is a fixed image. It's always the same. So if I share 20 links of different async API Studio document or documents on async API Studio, different APIs, different different documents, they will all look the same. So by the image, you will not have an idea of which one is which, right? So to make it clear, or a little bit clearer, if possible, what I mean is this. So there's a title here, there's a description that we could be using, a bunch of statistics that we could be getting from the rest of the document and so on. So this could be part of the document. So if I have this account service, for instance, and for instance, let me try to find stack. No, stack samples. I'm gonna get this, for instance, this is a simple one. Copy raw file. No, I want the URL. So I could be doing this. Actually, let me choose something else so you see the change. So I could be having, I don't know, red lights and PTP API. This is another one that we have as an example on GitHub. I could be copying the URL, coming to Studio, and I just have to edit here, URL equal to this, right? I think it should work. Let's see. All right, so it works. So as you can see, it's loading the file from that URL that I just paste on the URL, right? So I can use this link here, and I can go to, I don't know, Twitter, for instance. I paste it here. Let's see if Twitter does something. Let me check. I'm gonna just post it. All right, so it's taking some time to load the image. So the preview here is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about this preview image that is not appearing now. So I wouldn't be surprised if it disappeared over the last year, and it's not that the one that we pointed out anymore. So what we're talking about is this, right? And this image here. Any questions so far? I'm gonna remove the tweet.
I do have one.
You are the one who created the user.
Yes.
You should have no questions. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Is it possible to follow the issue that we are talking about here? It is possible to make it work? I mean, do you believe we could generate that image dynamically? Technically, obviously, it's possible. Okay. Based on
yeah, I think so. Maybe not in the current studio, but we're working on a migration to Next.js, and Next.js has some ways to do it because it's rendered on the server, right? So Next.js executes on the server. The current studio is only on the client, right?
Oh yeah, but you can do that with Netlify. I already tested that. So technically it's possible because you can do server-side rendering. But
then what's your question?
My question is if you believe it is worth, like, because I didn't see the design. You share the logos and so on, right?
Which logos you mean?
I noticed that you created like a few weeks ago some logos on the protocols, maybe.
But yeah, but that's for the new studio. These are icons for the new studio, and
okay. Yeah, then sorry.
They're not related. Yeah.
Okay. So
these are. I mean, the thing is that I'm gonna clarify it. So we're working on a new design for studio, right? So what you see here, this UI that you see here is gonna be transformed radically in the next month, right? So we have this design here that I've been working on the last month, and so studio is gonna end up looking like this. So it's gonna still be like this. You will still have this UI, but it's gonna be augmented to have more other pages, so other screens, let's say. So what Sergio is talking about is about these icons, right? About the protocols and so on. That's why I was creating these icons, an icon library, with lots of custom icons and so on. That's why, so that we can use them here. So yeah, I mean, we can use them as part of that image. So that rendered image, if that's possible. If that's a problem, then of course not. But maybe we can take the example from here, right? Like the same way that they render different languages, maybe we can have different colors here for different protocols. If your SNKPI document is using different protocols, then you will have multiple lines, multiple colors, right? And each color will be representing each of the protocols, right? If you're using just one protocol, then it will be a single line of a single color, right? So yeah, I mean, just ideas that we will be doing, right? But the rest, I think it will be more or less like what we're seeing here, just some stats about the link that we're linking, the document we're linking, and about yeah, the stuff we're linking to. Any questions so far? If the question is, if the doubt that you have in your head right now is what the heck is Fran talking about, that's also a valid question, right? Because you are not, if you're feeling lost right now, you are not the only one. So we see this every time someone joins for the first time to these meetings, they're like, what the heck are you talking about? What is this? What is this whole thing, right? So yeah, any questions, not just design related, right? Any questions you have to help you make sense of what we're talking about are welcome. Yeah. Chat or video, whatever you want.
I don't have any question.
You have a question?
No, I don't.
Okay. I thought you said like, yeah, I have a question. So
No.
I was waiting for the question. Okay.
Yes.
So then let's jump to the next issue here. So this one is funny. It's been around for a while, the mascot, right? So we have a mascot in the community, which is this one, right? Actually, we have two mascots, these two mascots here. So they were designed a while ago by a professional illustrator, and yes. But the thing is that we want to renew them, right? We want to refresh this mascot. We want to actually get rid of them and create a new one. That represents the value of the community and you know, like, and represents the community much better, right? So we've been discussing lots of things here, like different kinds of mascots of different products and communities and so on. Many people have tried different approaches. So as you can see, we've tried many things, but we're not illustrators. Right? We're not. Sounds familiar. How do you call that? We call it super nenas. How do you call that? Super something? Maybe super, I don't know, super girls. I don't know. Powerpuff Girls.
In shots.
Powerpuff Girls. So yeah, my aim is that my last advice on this issue was that we should probably aim for something like this. I don't know if you're probably too young to remember. I'm feeling old now, but this is from the early 90s. So it's a quite old already, but it was a famous mascot of 7-Up, the Coca-Cola drink, right? And I always found it like super cool because it's super simple. It's a super simple mascot, as you can see. It's just like 3 or 4 lines, right? It's really easy. It's really simple, but you could quickly see that it's him. You recognize him immediately, right? You you can paint him in many different positions, in doing many different things, right? But you quickly recognize it's Fidodida, right? It's not somewhere else. And that's precisely what I'm trying to what I'm looking for here, right? I'm looking for something not that looks like him, which it was misunderstood at some point in the conversation. I don't want a mascot that looks like him, right? That will be like copying the mascot. We don't want to copy the mascot, right? But I think we should try to address the same concerns. Let's say we should try to copy in the sense of we should make it have the same traits, the same characteristics, which is it's easy to draw, it's easy to recognize. You can paint him or you can paint the mascot in different doing different things, in different doing different gestures or postures, or doing different things, right, in different contexts, and you will instantly recognize that, oh, that's the SNKPI mascot, right? Because I've seen it before and it's the same thing. So if you see it, if you see this mascot in the middle of I don't know, like lots of designs, lots of mascots from different products and so on, you will immediately recognize him, right? Because it has this trait that it's easily recognizable, and that's, in my opinion, that's what we should be aiming for. What else? I wanted to mention something here. So Sergio, what is the what is that? Sorry, never mind. I reminded. Do you know Find Waldo? So this is a book for kids, and yeah, I don't know how many versions of this it's out there, but it's the same thing. Like it's easily recognizable, and it's so easily recognizable that even if you look in this image, I mean, the book is about this. Like, you need to find Waldo in this image, right? And I think it's a good exercise. Like the the kind of um, the kind of illustration, let's say here. So the type of illustration is the same. It's the same for Waldo and for each of the characters here, right? Actually, you have many of them that look very similar, right? So, but Waldo is so easily differentiable that you can quickly see and say like, this is the one, right? I found him. So that's probably what we should be aiming for as well. Like, if you paint a mascot around a lot of different characters with the same kind of illustration and colors and so on, you still should be able to differentiate it, right? So yeah, not easy. I know it's not easy. That's why it's still open. Right? That's why the issue is still there, right? So nothing else. I think this one is about this. So you see, the moment I talk about Fidodida, we started getting this a long mascot, but I wasn't meaning that. So yeah, never mind. So yeah, have a look at the issue. Even if you don't want to work on that, I think it's a funny one. And seeing as trying to come up with something and failing miserably because we're really bad at illustration. So yeah. Any questions so far? So this one is not about UI UX, as I was saying. This is illustration. So yeah. Sergio, another one from you. You should become a designer, as I can see. You're proposing too many design issues.
I only propose.
You only propose, right? You only complain, and then
I want to be the manager also. The product owner, and whatever.
you're the complainer. Actually, we can make t-shirts like this, like the complainer. So yeah, so this one is about the poster, right? Again, design, graphic design. It's not UI UX. It's about creating something like this, but if possible, a little bit more beautiful. Because yeah, this one is it's lacking some good taste, I would say. But yeah, sorry for the serverless workflow faults, but yeah. So yeah, it will be more about like creating like a cheat sheet or something like that, like a poster, an image where we summarize a bunch of things about async KPI. The content will have to be decided and worked with someone or with the community, of course. So it's not just design, but also coming up with the content. But again, like whoever is going to work on the design doesn't have to come up with the content, of course. We'll give them the content, and it will be just a matter of putting things in a beautiful place, in a beautiful way. So yeah. Which I'm just reading your comments right here. Like your daughter wants a t-shirt of Vidalido.
I don't really know why, but she won. Try for that. Really.
I understand her. Like it was my favorite mascot when I was a kid. So yeah. So yeah. This one, I think it's a self-explanatory. Like it's not super difficult to understand. I mean, the design task, of course, coming up with the content is a different thing. But yeah, like whoever wants to design this, something like this, will not need to come up with the content. So no worries. What else?
Sorry, please.
Sorry, say again.
Okay, if I get you correctly, you said whoever want to engage in that project will also have to come up with the content, right? Or
No.
to begin?
No, only design.
Okay, only the design.
Only design, yeah. Because the content will be provided by people who know async KPI well, like people in the community who know. I mean, you can come up with the content if you feel in the mood, but if you're new to the community, if you're on design and not on programming and so on, then it will be like super hard for you, right? So yeah, that's why I'm saying like don't worry, you don't have to come up with the content, but we can help, of course. We can give you the content already, and it will be just a matter of putting things together in that poster, right? So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. So I recall seeing another example of this posters, and it was API days. What was the name of this? API days, state of the API, something like that. No, I don't see it now. I can find it probably outside the code, but cloud. What was the one from CNCF, Sergio? Do you remember? Like
What?
Cloud technologies, CNCF.
But you mean the big one?
Yeah, this big one.
I have to say, I think nobody's seen that. I mean, the other day people was complaining about this, like maintaining
Yeah.
it pain in the ass or something like this. And
Yes. Actually, this is quite different. This is a bunch of logos. So you only see logos here, no information, not useful information. We're probably looking more for a chit set or something like that, right? Oops. Can we just beautiful chit set, please? Whatever that means. Yeah. Yeah, even this will be cool. Something like this. Yeah, I will like whoever's taking this task, this issue, like please let's not do these kind of things, right? Just because it's programming related, it doesn't mean it has to be ugly, right? So
let's call it a greenfield project. Yes.
yeah. So what we're looking for is actually the opposite. Like we have zero taste in design. Developers have zero taste in design usually, right? And the content that we produce is like debatable. Right? So what we're aiming for here is that please bring your design skills, right? And give it a spin, right? And making it look like it's something actually cool and beautiful, right? Something that people will want to actually read, right? Something, I don't know, even something like this, something that people will want to read, even though this one is also debatable, but yeah, like it's not like, it doesn't look like programming stuff, right? Or like engineering stuff. So yeah, let's try to make it more easy, let's say, to digest. So yeah. All right, you stop me whenever you need, okay? So whenever you have questions, because we almost out of time. So yeah. This one is about redesigning the Modelina website. I think this is an interesting one. This is UI UX design. So yeah, Modelina, just so you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I have it here. So this is the website. Again, it was done using the design of the Async API website as a base, but not really. So yeah, for instance, you see the logo is out of place completely. Typography, space, negative space. It's probably not well organized, let's say. Same here, you see. So typography here, this is probably missing a title here or something. I don't know. Don't even know. What could be the solution here? Examples. This is not so bad. So yeah, but probably here, the size of the typography is it's even bigger than the logo. So the normal text, let's say the regular text, is bigger than the titles, than the logo. And that's weird. And also something that it's probably not being taken into account, but look at the favicon of the website. It's the Async API logo. It's not the Modelina logo. So it should probably be the Modelina logo, right? Otherwise, it looks like this tab is from the Async API website, and it's not. Playground. I recall seeing something here. All right, so it got a bit better, even though it's still easy to improve, I would say. So yeah, lots of things here, lots of options. I'm not, for instance, I thought this is something I can click, or that this is something I can click, but I cannot. This is something I can click, but the cursor is an arrow. So yeah, so it's a little bit confusing to use, right? So from the UI perspective. Someone did a good review here of the design, not this one, this one. So someone did a good review here of things that could be taken into account, mobile website as well. That's not responsive. There are a bunch of things. So it's basically about this. Have a look at the issue if you want more information. Collaborate with these people there, because I'm not collaborating in this issue, for instance. So yeah, but Maya, I see that you're there. So, well, you said that you're including this into this call and this project. Okay, never mind. So yeah, engage with them. They're asking like what's exactly needed, or coming up with a proposal. Even if it's just like boxes, right? Raw boxes, like wireframes or something like that, of what's your intention. You don't need to read. You don't need to read design everything on a Figma file, and then we translate this into code, or it's not even necessary. Like we don't have to go to that specific little details on the design phase, right? Sometimes just a wireframe is enough, and then we can iterate while the developers are doing the code. You could be reviewing. Actually, it will not be merged, so it will not be released until you give the approval, right? Because you've been collaborating with the design, so you have to approve the design, and then people can keep iterating on the code as you give them the direction, right? So yeah, and we're very respectful with this. So if you come up with a design and someone tries to implement it and they don't do it as you're expecting it, you can give them feedback and say, no, this is not what I intended to do, or give more space here, or change the size of this typography or color or whatever. And it won't be released until you're happy. So yeah. Even if you're not a maintainer of the project or anything, but we are respectful of your work. And if you are if you're not happy with the redesign, then we don't release it, right? So yeah. Maya, do you want to cover this one?
Okay, that'll be fine.
Do you want to share your screen maybe, or is it fine like this?
My screen is a mess. Let's just hear from
I feel you.
Okay. So the main thing we wanted to do here is to conduct usability testing and research on how our users they're using the tools. Can you scroll up, please?
Yep. Where is it?
Just
bottom?
down. Yes, thank you. Bottom.
Where is it?
Okay, so we
We
have just scroll up to Missy a little bit.
This one?
No, down. Sorry.
No problem.
Oh, no.
You mean to this one, to the description?
Not description. No, to the page. Where Missy was talking about the design after this. Okay. The next one after Lucas, I think. Yes, this one.
Okay.
Okay, so we have two major things we wanted to do here. We want to design a page where we have the title as user research or something similar. Then there's going to be an introduction on what we intend to do. And the main reason why we wanted to do this is to attract more UX designers to the community that also wants to contribute. And also want to have a form where participants that are interested in the survey can sign up from. And after that, we intend to do a usability testing on how. Can you go to the ASIN API page, the website? Do you want to click from there? Hi. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying you should go to the ASIN API website, please.
Which one? You mean that if we should be doing this on the main one?
The async API website under tools. Yeah. So we wanted to do usability testing on how people are using the tools. That's the main idea of what we wanted to do, and also user research.
Probably under here, something like that, right? On the community
The
or
tools.
the tools. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the main point. And I think Missy dropped the comments last week. I think that's what I'm waiting for right now to get started.
So that would be
Yes, this one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be conducted remotely by Zoom. So we need to implement the page on the website. Then she also mentioned that it's not just usability testing, but also user research.
Yeah, it's not just exactly. So we could be asking other questions, exactly, like company and size and so on. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Okay.
So
yeah. No, go ahead.
if there's anyone that wants to collaborate with me here, because I love user research and usability testing, you're welcome. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. So yeah, just to make it clear, so this is more about UX than UI, right? So this is about research, right? So no interface here, no design or anything like that, but more like researching how people are using the tools or could be using the tools so that it can influence the design of the tools and the spec, right? So there's something I want to make clear about this one, and that is not about just it is not about the website. It is not for changing the website or like doing a user research on how people are using the website, but it's more about how people are using all the tools, right? Each of them, right? And the spec as well, not just so the whole experience, right? Like when they're using async API tools and specification, how they are, like the pain points they're having,
Frustrations.
they're using frustrations, exactly everything, right? Happiness as well, like everything, right? So that we can address these things afterwards in the tools and in the website and everywhere, right? Whenever in the documentation, maybe people are happy with some tool but not with the documentation. Maybe it's the other way around. Documentation is fine, but the tool it's a crap. So yeah, so they need to we need to actually understand why it's bad, how we could make it better. And I will say that this is what it's all about, right? It's about understanding the user needs and actually understanding who's the user first, right? So we need to first understand how our users look like. Even though I have like a let's say a good understanding of how our user base look like because I've been working on this for many years already. So So yeah, it gives me some perspective, but it would be good that we have some proof, let's say some data, right? Something that could be actually written down, and it's like we have from, I don't know, 100 people interviewed, we have 20 people who are doing this or that, 5 people doing this or that, 99 people doing this. So we get some data, right? And it has to be manual. There's nothing we could automate here. So it has to be during conducting user interviews, surveys, and things like this, right? So there's not much we can do here. So yeah, so that's it. Any questions so far?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So
Okay. Hello.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
All right. The seventh project, is it actually is it the process we are looking at as the user testing process, or we are to put up a new page so we can get the data we need, as in the testing reports?
it's probably two things. It's probably both. So it's probably a new page where people can take the survey, maybe, or maybe people can sign up to have a user interview or something like that. Which is gonna be weird because in my experience, nobody signs up for this. You have to go after them and knocking many doors, and maybe in this case you get someone to open the door, right? So yeah, so it's both things. So there will be like a basic UI landing page where you probably get some of the survey and so on to sign up for these things. There will be something that is not visible. Let's say it's not UI, that will be conducted separately, like knocking doors, having calls, noting down the data, and so on. And I think, in my opinion, is that the result of this should be that we publish it to the website, right? We publish all the findings on the website. We publish everything as maybe even as a design as well as a poster. Like we can get as crazy as we want, of course. Like we can create we can do a live stream as well to expose that data and to show the community how it looks like. So there are many things we can do later down the track with this data, right? But yeah, like I will say, like initially it's just the website to collect data as much as possible, to run this interview separately, and then do something cool with the data, right? So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. So yeah. All right. So briefly, since we don't have, I mean, we're over time already. So briefly about this. So what we're planning now. So we're using this beautiful tool, magical tool. I'm saying like this because I created it. So this is the tool. Let me share it on Restream and YouTube. Hola, Lorenzo. I have a Lorenzo Gamboa saying hola, Francisco. And so what is this? So just so you know, we're trying to work in these things with a flexible time scope. So this is gonna end up being something like this, just so you know. Okay. So it will become something like this once we approve all these things. Once we get people assigned to some certain issues, then it will become something like this. So each of these are not this. This is an example of another project, but each of these circles here is each of the tasks here,
Project.
the issues here, right? So we will be working in 6-week cycles initially, right? So we're gonna target, let's say, for the tasks that make sense, of course. Like we give like 6-week cycle to deliver a task, right? To complete an issue. But the 6-week cycle is not a hard deadline, right? We understand that this is not paid job. This is a collaboration. So you probably do it in your spare time. So if what I'm trying to say here is if at the end of the 6-week cycle you don't finish it, it's not a problem, right? Nobody cares as long as we keep pushing. So the 6-week cycle is more that to take into account how long things are taking and so on. So to measure ourselves a little bit, to have some, because some people like to have some deadlines as well. So yeah, that depends on you. You can be part of this, or you can be working on this without the 6-week cycle or anything like that, as you prefer, right? So yeah. But initially we're gonna organize the work with this. So each of us know what's the progress that the other people are making, and so we can stay in touch and coordinated, let's say, right? So yeah. I'm happy to record probably an explanation of how this works outside this meeting, because it's already too long. So yeah, so happy to explain how this framework works. It's a so that I created this tool, but this is based on this shape up framework. So if you haven't heard, you can read. This is a book that you can read online for free. If you haven't heard about this methodology, I highly recommend having a look. Might be worth. It's a work methodology like Scrum, Agile, and so on, right? So yeah, like Kanban and so on, but it's a different one. It's a different approach, and yeah, I'll be happy to explain these things. Probably record the video to explain how it works with the tool and so on. So yeah, but in the meantime, I think it's worth having a look, and because even outside async API context, many companies are using this methodology. So it might be also useful for you to get some knowledge of how some companies, some teams organize themselves on organized work, and how to collaborate with teams and so on. So yeah. Okay. So thanks for joining, folks. I'm sorry for the delay today. And looking forward to the next meeting. I'm looking forward to seeing you contributing. And yeah, just let me know what you need to know, and I'll be happy to help and assist, of course. Okay, even though I'm not a designer, but I'm trying to do my best here. I hope that you can all take this forward, so I don't have to design anymore. Cool, folks. Bye bye. Cheers.
Bye.
To meet you.